First, there was Spider-Man 1. Then there was Spider-Man 2. Whoops, wrong set. And then there was Spider-Man 3. And now there's an Amazing Spider-Man. Here's my review. The Amazing Spider-Man. Well, I just seen this movie today, like about hours ago. Let's put it like that. And I can still remember, it's actually very memorable. You know, first starts off, it's a reboot of the original Spider-Man. This is not the original Spider-Man poster, but this is kind of like it. And then, you know, everyone knows the story, how he becomes Spider-Man. Peter Parker is just some nerdy kid in school, then gets bit by a genetically engineered spider, and then he gets some kind of superpowers, he harnesses them, and then some tragic happens in his life, and then makes him be Spider-Man. So, actually, I have a lot of compliments to this movie. It actually finished off what Spider-Man 3 cannot. It actually balanced the method of trying to get close with Peter Parker, but then there's still the Spider-Man parts. Like, Peter Parker's trying to find the origin of himself, and then, while at the same time, he still has to, you know, be a vigilante. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired today. So, you know, everyone knows Spider-Man 3, that red suit and black suit. I'm pointing at it. This is just red suit, and the suit looks nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's actually some pretty new suit. I should put it like that. Here's a picture. Okay. See? And then compare it to this picture. Alright. Now. And then here. The lizard was actually put really well in this movie. At first, when I seen the concept art, I'm like, this ain't gonna work out at all. You know, they just missed complete it in the book. And then, you know, after a while, you start getting used to the fact that it's a cross. The lizard's a cross species of a doctor named Kirk Connors. Well, Kirk Connors is an amputee. I don't know how he got that. I forgot. I haven't read the comics in a long time. But he's basically one-armed. He doesn't have his right arm. So it's like that, basically. You know, except that without that huge lump. Okay. Without that huge lump. So, yeah. You know, and then, no, back in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, they had Kirk Connors in there, but he wasn't a big character. He was just like, okay, I'm your school teacher, nothing more. I have no arm. And then this movie, the plot was good with Peter. It just starts out with Peter Parker as a kid, and then getting sent to his aunt and uncle's house. It's not a spoiler, so you know. Getting sent to his aunt and uncle's house. It's like basically in the trailer, so just so you know. So it's not a spoiler at all. So, just starts with him as a kid. Parents leave at his aunt and uncle's house, and then somehow just goes right to, I wouldn't say it's the future, but neither the present, because I can't really say it's the present. Now, who cares? So, we go back to teenager Peter Parker, and then, you know, he's all this nerdy kid like Peter Parker's supposed to be, except in this one, Peter Parker's not supposed to be some really nerdy kid who's good at science, but, well, he is good at science in this one. Well, he's just some quiet kid that sits in the back. He doesn't really try to mess with anyone. Because nerds have changed over the years, because nowadays nerds aren't really just smart people anymore because a lot of people are actually trying in school. Not there's like no more jocks and stuff, so no one would define nerd like that. This one, Peter Parker's like some quiet kid, good at science, and he's a skater apparently. Yeah, now it's like, it's gonna go good with it. But then, like he's after a while, after he gets his powers and stuff, and then somehow he gets like after he gets bit when he's at home, he like gets a web right there, and he like yanks it out. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of gross. You're gonna have like a web sack right there or something. It's in the trailer. Don't call me out on it. Don't say it's a spoiler. And then, after a while, he starts harnessing his powers. If you know the comic book and the Sam Raimi movie, then you know what that tragic thing happens. But, no, and then, like, at first, he's just some guy. He's like, oh, yeah. And then once he gets his powers, he's like, oh, he gets a little more confidence. He's like, oh, yeah, I can do whatever I want now. I can humiliate people. Well, his Uncle Ben has a problem with that. His Uncle Ben's like, don't you do that, son. Don't ever humiliate him. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. And then other stuff happened. And yet he still uses that humor. Like, he still humiliates them. Like, that car scene you see in the trailer. He's like, oh, you found my weakness. Small knives. And then he just starts spinning once at him. The part that really made me kind of confused, he gave this menacing look. Like, he looked like he was about to kill him. Like, if I was webbed to a wall like that, I'd be like, I think I'm going to die. I can see why he was yelling, help me, oh my gosh. But I still thought it was hilarious. And then a lot of hilarious parts. Anyways, here's the picture that he gave the menacing look on. Alright? The lizard. There you go. I was saying earlier, he actually looks like a cross species, but they kind of made him look like the Joker, because if you see him from like a side view, like he still has a mouth right here, but then somehow he like spreads over like that, like a smile. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is this? No. So I had really high expectations for this movie. The CGI was pretty great, but here's a problem I had with the lizard too. The lizard, they could have done a lot more with it. I seen other people's views and they said that too. But the lizard, they could have done a lot more with him. All they just like, okay, we gotta take this guy out. Who cares? I don't care. But no, this one, I thought they could have like try to like Peter kind of should have resisted a little bit since he knows Connors is in there. But then he's not right now, so he's fighting a lizard, but he knows his friends in there. It's like, what do I do? That's what I would have been like, at least. So I thought that was one problem, but it actually excelled all my expectations. I thought it was actually better than the Sam Raimi movies. And yeah, guess that's it. So, what did you guys think of it? Or if you haven't seen it, then you should go see it. It's a great movie. I would probably rate it 9.5 out of 10, which would be higher than that one right there. I would rate that 7.5. Yeah, 7.56. 7.56. Yeah. So what do you think was better, the Sam Raimi movies or the new Amazing Spider-Man movie? Leave your comments down below. And good night.